Hi. Yeah, we're Sunrise, and like I stated before, when I sent you the email, we're here because we need to talk about the climate crisis, and we're here to demand that the Democratic Party do something about it. Do you want to go ahead, Andrea, and get us started?
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Noye. My name.
Well, hang on. Before we get started, I want to thank you guys for being here. I didn't expect this many folks. I also didn't expect media. I was hoping to kind of have a conversation, and that's fine. Steve's a friend, and I think you guys, he does a good job. So please go ahead with your presentation.
Hello, Mr. Noye. My name is Asthenia Venegas. I live in Rhode Island, and we're part of the Sunrise Movement's campaign for a climate debate. We're here today because we've witnessed the failure of the political leadership on climate for as long as I've been alive. The latest UN climate report says we have 11 years to radically and rapidly transform our society and our economy to address the climate crisis in order to protect human civilization as we know it. The science is undisputed. We have the technology, we have the money, and the public is overwhelmingly on our side. Now all that remains is to build a political will, which the Democratic Party has failed to do. We are part of Sunrise, a mass movement of young people trying to stop the climate crisis and create millions of good jobs in the process. We are here to say that the time for talking is over. Now is a time for action. This isn't an isolated office visit. Young people all across the nation are rising up and dictating that we need to have a climate debate. We demand that you publicly announce your support for the climate debate. We don't want any more of your empty promises, your excuses. Our generation's future is on the line. And if you don't step up, we will have someone else who does. Woo!
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. You have a response to that? Yeah.
So, I think that, first of all, I think it's super important that you guys are doing what you're doing, and that you're involved in the process. There are far too many people who believe that democracy is self-executing, and that if they, just do the bare minimum, which is show up to vote every 2 or 4 years, that things will just take care of themselves. And I think what we've learned since 2016 is it's going to take a whole lot more than that. And so whether it's climate change or healthcare or affordable housing or any of the other issues that I think that people like yourselves are going to be looking at and confronting, I think it's super important that you're here. Let me talk a little bit about the climate change debate and sort of where I think the Rhode Island Democratic Party is. As you know, the DNC, in putting together their sort of framework for presidential debates, has made the decision that they are going to do 12 debates, 6 this year and 6 next year. And we're in the middle of that process now. As I understand the process, and I'm not heavily involved in it, what the DNC does is they qualify the candidates based on the criteria, and then they hand over the list of candidates to the TV networks, and the TV networks are in charge of the production of the debates, including the questioning. So the DNC does not have a role in deciding what topics are brought up, how many of those topics are brought up, and for how long those topics are brought up, for just the 12 DNC sanctioned debates. Now, all the presidential candidates, as I'm been told, were made aware of that and agreed to that framework ahead of time. But that does not stop them from having or participating in what are called non-sanctioned forums that are on individual issues. And so I have seen, for example, in South Carolina and other states around the country, conversations around police brutality, conversations around other issues, but they are just not DNC sanctioned debates, if that makes sense to folks. In terms of what you all would like to see, which is a climate change only debate, Unfortunately, as executive director, I don't have much of a say in that. I'm not a voting member of the DNC. My chairperson is, and he happens not to be here. But what I can tell you about Joe McNamara is that he understands that climate change is a very important issue. You guys should know that in the 2018 election cycle, we added stronger language about climate change into our platform because we think that it's a super important issue and that people should be paying attention to it.